Nice dive! Upon ascending to 2 feet during a dive, the surface interval time will be displayed instead of the depth, with the surf icon flashing for the first 10 minutes and NDC will be displayed as 2 dashes. If a descent is made to 5 feet for 5 seconds, the dive will be continued. Surface time will not be added to the dive time. After the first 10 minutes, the Geo 2.0 will revert to the surface mode and will allow full access to the norm surface menu. Previously in this module, we have reviewed the planning screen. In this section, we will look at the time to fly, desaturation time, logbook, and history screens. Let's start with the time to fly. Time to fly is a counter that begins counting down from 23 hours and 50 minutes, 10 minutes after surfacing from a dive. It indicates the time you should wait before flying on a commercial airline so you can avoid potential decompression sickness. To access the time to fly screen from the main surface mode, press either the advance or the mode button until you see the fly graphic. This screen contains both the time to fly and desaturation counters. The time to desaturate counter provides calculated time for tissue desaturation at sea level, taking into consideration the conservative factor setting. This screen includes the graphic fly, the time to fly counter, the graphic SAT, and the desaturation timer. These 2 counters are quite important in preventing decompression sickness. Do not ignore them. Let's now look at the logbook. The Geo will store information for the last 24 dives and will display them sequentially in reversed order. Dives will be numbered 1 to 24, starting with number 1 for each time a new series of dives begins. For each dive in the logbook, there is a preview screen and 3 data screens. To access the logbook mode from the surface mode, press either the advance or the mode button until you see the log lead-in screen. This screen contains the graphics log and normal gauge. Then press the select button to access the log preview screen of the most recent dive. The log preview screen contains the log mode icon, the date the dive was conducted, dive time began, graphic NOR, dive number in the dive series, and the dive symbol. From the log preview screen, hold the select button to return to the log lead-in screen. Or press the advance button to step forward to the preview screen of the next dive in the log from the most recent dive to the oldest. Or press the mode button to step backward to the preview screen of the previous dive in the log. Or press the select button to access the Data 1 screen for the dive you are previewing. This screen contains NX icon if the dive was a nitrox dive, PZ plus icon if the algorithm was selected, log mode icon, the pre-dive surface interval with surf icon, the tissue loading bar graph with the maximum accumulation segment flashing, and the others fixed up to the end of the dive accumulation. If the dive was a decode dive, the center row will display the total ascent time, otherwise it will be empty. The variable ascent rate indicator indicating the maximum ascent rate sustained for 4 seconds, the maximum depth reached during the dive, and the elapsed dive time. From the Data 1 screen, if you hold the select button, the veil will step back to the preview screen. Pressing the select button will move to the data screen 2. This screen contains the log mode icon, the minimum temperature recorded during the dive, and the graphic indicating the altitude at which the dive was conducted. Hold the select button to step back to the Data 1 screen. Or press the select button to access the Data 3 screen. This screen is shown only for nitrox dives and contains NX icon, PZ plus icon if the algorithm was selected, log mode icon, O2 saturation at the end of the dive, highest PO2 reached during the dive, FO2 set point for the gas in use when the dive ended, and the gas icon representing the tank in use when the dive ended. Let's now look at the history mode. The Geo history is a summary of basic data recorded during all normal engaged dives conducted, up to 999 dives and 1,999 hours. To access the history mode from the surface screen, press either the Advanced or the Mode button until you see the graphic HIS on the bottom row. History mode includes two screens, History 1 and History 2. The History 1 screen contains the graphic hour with total hours of dive time ever recorded, the graphic HIS with total number of dives ever recorded. Press the Select button to access History 2. History 2 screen contains maximum altitude level, lowest temperature recorded, maximum depth ever recorded, and maximum elapsed dive time for a single dive. To return to the main surface screen, at any time while in the log mode or history mode, just hold the mode button. Okay, we're done with this module. Are you ready for the quiz? If not, you can go back and review the sections in this module. Also, you have the option to practice what you've just learned. Just click on the link Geo 2.0 practice site and the simulator will take you there automatically. Press Next at the bottom of the screen.